Hello, I'm Dina Monchik, Senior Manager of Product Marketing for Norton Internet Security. And today I'd like to talk to you about identity theft. I'll start with the impact identity theft is having on the individual and on our economy as a whole. And then I'll move on to an explanation of the ID theft black market and a description of how your identity can get stolen if you go online. Finally, I'll talk a bit about how you protect yourself from identity theft. Let's start with what is identity theft. Identity theft is when criminals steal your most sensitive personal and financial information and use it to assume your identity and commit crimes in your name. Identity thieves may drain your bank accounts, run charges up on your credit cards, they may establish new credit accounts in your name and quickly spend thousands of dollars. Suddenly, you're accused of owing money for purchases you never made, and you can spend months or years trying to clear your name and fix your credit rating. To add insult to injury, your credit cards and mobile phone accounts may be placed on hold during this time. 1 in 5 Americans have been victims of identity theft. From 2001 to 2007, over 27 million Americans have had to deal with this problem. So even if you haven't experienced this crime personally, you probably know someone who has. Getting your identity stolen is expensive and time-consuming. It takes an average of 600 hours of effort to recover, and it may take several years to fully resolve problems resulting from the theft. And the average cost to resolve the problem is about $1,400. And you're not the only victim. Our broader economy suffers as well, since much of the expense associated with identity theft is ultimately absorbed by merchants, financial institutions, and insurance companies. The FTC estimated that identity fraud, injury, and recovery costs somewhere around $50 billion a year. Online identity theft is big business. There is an entire economy built up around this activity. The first step in the supply chain is the hacker, who discovers vulnerabilities in existing software applications. Knowledge of a Windows Metafile vulnerability sold for around $4,000 on the black market. This isn't software code. This is just information on how a hacker could write software code that could trick a PC into allowing a malware download using a Windows Metafile. This identity theft marketplace also sports developers of malicious software utility packs and phishing scam toolkits. With these do-it-yourself tools, an identity thief has all the tools he needs to perpetrate a scheme. It's sort of like building a website with a tool like Dreamweaver instead of writing the HTML code yourself. And fraudsters take full advantage of these shortcuts. 42% of all phishing attacks discovered by Symantec in the first half of 2007 were created using only 3 of these for-sale phishing toolkits. All a potential fraudster needs to do is buy a kit, perform a small amount of work, and start harvesting personal information from their victims. Here's an ad for a piece of malware designed to empty a victim's bank account. However, it's possible that these fraudsters won't actually be the criminals who impersonate you. Once they get your information, they may go back to the same black market and sell it. Criminals or entire criminal organizations may buy this information off the web. They may then be the ones who actually use it to steal your money or borrow money in your name. Here's a list of information Symantec has found for sale on the internet black market, along with prices. As you can see, credit card numbers and bank accounts are the most popular items for sale. How do they steal your identity information? Phishing is probably the most well-known method. This is where fraudsters create a fake website impersonating a known site like Bank of America or Barclays. Then they send out spam masquerading as a message from your bank, telling you to log into your account or verify your login information, or some such direction. This very convincing email includes a link back to your bank's site that's actually a link back to this fake site where unwitting victims enter their confidential information, which is then stolen. And now you don't even have to fall victim to a convincing email. Pharming is an internet address hack where even though you may enter the correct URL for a legitimate website, you are routed instead to a fraudulent site. And finally, even if you don't share your information with the site, you may still be exposed to additional malicious software downloads. Some criminals use malicious software to steal information. In fact, 65% of malware on the internet aims to steal or facilitate stealing confidential information. Some malware simply allows another person to take remote control of your computer. With control, they can comb through your data files for account numbers and other personal information.